Deb. How are you?
Morning. Good, thank you.
Tell us about your piece for the Janesville Rap Show.
This one I did. I started it about 5 years ago, and I just finished it up. I had gone up to Mayo Clinic because I was really sick, and I found out what the cause was, and we had gone on a walk afterwards, and this was a part of the walk, and so I've had it up in my house, and it just reminds me of, it's called Layers of Time, and it just reminds me of where I am now compared to where I was before, and so it's a real special piece for me.
Oh, very nice. Emotions play when you
Right.
have a story like that, for sure. What's the medium?
It's pastel.
Pastel.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was called Layers of Time.
Correct.
Very good. Thanks, Debbie, so much.
You're welcome.
Morning, Lynette.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, let's hear about your nice piece that you're going to enter into the rap show.
Yeah, I did this. This is an oil painting. I actually did it on site in Bradenton, Florida with my sister Luann, who's also an artist. And we sat right down as the water was coming in, the tide, and I painted this boat. And the local person told us that this boat had been lost and then came back and was found again. So I titled it Lost and Found.
I just was going to ask you if that was the title. That's
Yeah.
very appropriate. Well, that's great. What's your history on entering rap programs? Long
I
time now?
have entered probably the last 3 years, maybe. Yep. I've done Janesville. I've actually done one up near Madison. What was that one? I don't know. But in Beloit.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Janesville is the important one, right?
Janesville's the important one, and
Right.
Janesville's is the best. of course.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lynette Redner.
All right, thank
so much.
you.
Okay. Good morning, Ed.
Hi, Nancy.
Tell us about this piece that's going to be in the Janesville Rap Show, April 23rd.
When I travel with Chris, with my wife, and with other people, I'm always looking at whatever is there to look at and enjoy. But I also like to see color, and something that maybe I hadn't seen before grabs my attention. This was in North Berwick, Scotland. And as you can see, the boats are out of the water, and so I called it Waiting for the Tide, assuming that maybe they'll be able to float away sometime later in the day.
You know, they say that a good composition is in layers. Can you tell me how if you were a painter, how would you describe this in layers?
I don't have a clue about that.
Okay.
And I'm not particularly a sophisticated photographer either. I'm looking for something that appeals visually to me. And if it appeals to me, then I figure, well, maybe it might appeal to somebody else as well. And this is a pretty good example of something that somebody else might just walk by. So I stop and take a picture of it. I take a lot of pictures, in fact, and just hope that some turn out to be something that I actually do like, and this was one of those.
Right. When I said layers, what I see is the first layer, which is the closest to the viewer, and then a little further back would be the town background, and then of course your sky. But it's just a beautiful composition.
That creates depth, I think, and
interest.
it's a certain kind of photograph really takes you there, and it's a good memory for me and for us. And
It's a good
I
way to
think it's
say
a
it.
nice
It
thing
takes
to
you
say.
right there.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for stopping by today.
my pleasure, Nancy.
You're welcome.
too. Okay. There's really not too much to say about him. I've always wanted to do this particular penguin, and friends of ours were up there and took some great photographs. And so I said, I'm going to copy some of those, and so that's what I did. Actually, I think I really lucked out on this piece, though, because his little face turned out so good, and it was so lucky. I just love the way he's looking up at his dad.
Jackie, what's the medium?
Watercolor.
Watercolors. And you probably only use 2 or 3 colors.
Yeah, not many.
It sure has a nice little story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd like to introduce Tammy Bozer, who painted a mountain view for our workshop. And I asked her why art's so important to her, why she needs to do art.
Because I like to bring joy into people's lives. Sometimes my paintings will trigger an emotion in someone, a place they've been, a memory, and I get great joy out of that and the stories that they tell me when that reflects what they're thinking when they look at my art.
Hi, I'm Karen Loper. These are made out of sticky back materials. Some of it is from my nephews. They use stuff to go on their models and stuff. It all started because I was bored at work and they were throwing very pretty, sometimes, box labels away right in front of me. So I rescued them, started at work, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm recycling nuts. So it's on cardboard, and this one happened to be after I went to Mexico and I liked the colors of the buildings in the hills and stuff. I also have a passion for numbers. I've done one completely out of 8s and 4s and 5s and 6s, all that kind of thing. And I've done some memorial things for people's weddings, deaths, birthdays.
Karen, thank you so much for sharing this information with us, and we'll see you on April 23rd.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Silvia Cavagnero and I am just delighted to be here today to show my piece whose title is Dress for the Dance. It's a piece that has hand toning paper done with watercolor, and then on top I go with graphite and white chalk. This title may seem a little odd, but it's all about being disappointed and thinking about having dreams to go somewhere but not being able either to go or to see yourself there. And so it's about longing and trying to be somewhere and not being quite able to do that yet. It was a lot of fun to make this piece, and I want to thank RAP and the many, many friends I've made here. I really love to learn from the artists and from the fellow artists also when I go to the show.
Hi, Nancy. Tell us about this piece for the Janesville Rep program. Looks very interesting.
Well, thank you. I attended a powwow up in Hayward at the Honor the Earth powwow at the Lakota Ray Reservation, and I took a photo, several photos, and this was a photograph of mine that I really liked and wanted to delve into as far as my interpretation. And I was
looking around at the powwow, they had all these vendors, and there were frames that had bark on them, which
Oh,
I thought
very
was
interesting.
really neat. So I put some on mine.
Oh, how nice. It looks like it has a story to tell with lots of color. And I think you have a very, very nice opportunity to see an award on this.
Oh, gee, thanks.
You're
I
welcome.
just love sharing my art.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Good morning, Carol. How are you today?
I'm fine, thanks. How are
Good.
you?
Hey, thanks for stopping by. I am wondering if you'd like to give us a little detail on the beautiful piece of art that you have submitted for the RAP program on April 23. You brought in two, and I know you had a sunflower one that I'm particularly interested in knowing how you did such a beautiful job on it.
Oh, thank you. It's a 24 by 36 canvas with acrylic paint. I compiled different photographs of different sunflowers so that I could get an idea, and then the background is all my make-believe and my own imagination.
Oh, that's a nice way to make a story, isn't it? Some things that are there and some things that you'd like to be there.
Exactly.
Do you have any history on joining a RAP program before?
No, this is my first time.
Oh, great.
So
Great.
I'm looking forward to and
Good.
excited to participate this year.
Yeah. What's the title of the sunflower?
It's just called Sunflowers.
A sunflower. Oh, that's very appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming by, and I hope you enjoy your first experience at the Janesville RAP.
Thank you. I'm going to, I'm sure.
Okay. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Era, how are you today?
I'm fine today.
Good. I'd like to ask you a few questions that would be your role in RAP and how you got started. I know it's not your first year, you've been around the block a few times, but tell us how you got started in RAP and what your duties are, so to speak, for the Janesville RAP this April.
I've been involved in Art League for a number of years, but I got really involved when Elaine Wood called me and asked me if I would help her. This was in 2013, and I said, sure, and then she said, now you'll be my co-president. So I got involved with the organization kind of at that level, and she and I were co-presidents for 4 years, and when I was finished, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I still wanted to be active in Art League, but I met an artist. So I knew about RAP. I participated, but very peripherally, in RAP, and I started helping them and working with that committee. And at that time, Barb Leonard was in charge, and a lot of the committee that we have now is also involved. So I asked if I could join them up, and I did, and then Barb was kind of pulling back, and she said, why don't you work with me, which I did, and that's how I became much more involved. And Barb is still involved, and so are the members. The job is kind of an expediter. That's what Nancy calls me, is the great expediter. I don't know,
You are.
I don't
You
know if I'm
are.
great, but I do expedite. So I call the meetings and I contact people and I try to keep us all on the same page, which sometimes is really a challenge. But it is fun because I love it. I love Art League. I love the art. I love the artists. It's just something that feeds my soul. So that's how I've gotten involved, and I continue to do this. I've been working with Mary Ann Inman the last 2 years, and my daughter, who was very helpful last year when we were doing it online as a Zoom.
I remember that well, and that was a challenge, and I congratulate you on getting through that year for sure. Tell us about how Frida Kahlo became our person of interest to recognize during the Janesville Wrap. I've been to quite a few different wraps in the state, and I don't know of any one that does this type of activity, educational for sure. But tell us what and how an artist, a famous artist, is chosen.
We talk about what artists we feel that we are interested in or are respond to, and we throw that out. We have a meeting and we just throw out the artists' names and why. And Frida was hands down the biggest choice. And I think it's modeled after the fact that her life was full of challenges, physical, emotional, all of them. And I think we've all have gone through that in the last 2 years. I think also the fact that she's a colorful person in her art and her personal expression expresses that. And if there's anything about the group that I'm working with, they're colorful in personality as well as their artwork. So they had a connection with her because we talked about Andrew Wyeth and we talked, I can't remember some of the other ones, but I do remember Andrew Wyeth. So we picked her, and our choice was either endurance or perseverance. And perseverance because it was that idea of really having to persevere against so many odds that she had, physical and her married life. And you can read about her, as you can see on this board. Alicia provided this with her because a couple of years ago we celebrated her birthday and we were there, and we knew she had these posters. So we asked her if she'd loan them to us, and she did. So it also explains why she painted what she did. And we have the quotes all around that also explain it. This kind of harkens back to maybe about 5 or 6 years ago when Barb was the leader, the co-coordinator, and she wanted to have kind of a theme or a focus. And then, of course, Mike was on our committee, and he wanted it to have an educational component. So we did, and the quotes were part of that, also the history, and why do we pick these artists? So that's, it all is all intertwined.
It becomes a full circle, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it's a very full circle.
You have a program where you want people to show off their art, but you also want them to go home with learning something new,
Yes.
maybe about an artist they didn't even know about.
Yes.
I think that's great. Well, Era, I want to thank you very much. I think we all appreciate everything you do for
Thank you.
for the Janesville Art League and L'Atelier sponsored Janesville Wrap for April of 2022. Coming up pretty soon. If you don't mind, just tell us just for a moment, what about the lives of some of the other famous artists? Can you recall some of those that we did? I do remember Picasso for sure.
Yes.
And
He did his best thinking in the bathtub, we found out.
Oh.
Just reading about him. And that really intrigued Mike. I had a book, and that was something that none of us knew, that he spent many hours in the bathtub. And it gave him his inspiration.
Right.
So that was interesting.
Right.
We've done Van Gogh,
exactly.
and The Starry Night, and we've done George O'Keeffe, who again is colorful. And it's interesting that, you know, she's also had that idea of colorful. This is colorful, hard edge and nature, not so much reflecting her own life, which is what Frida did. And then last year we honored Mike's memory.
Right.
So
right.
at least the 5 years that I've been involved, those are the people that I remember.
Well, thank you again. It was so nice chatting with you, and I hope you enjoy the show on April 23rd. Now that you've done all of the
Yes,
work, and
I can
you
actually
can
sit back
relax.
and I can
and-
just, they just
yeah.
ask me what I can do to help.
And how many members were entered in this year?
54.
54. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yes, it was. It was wonderful. And there's about 98, I think 98 pieces of art. So considering at the time and the fact that we were still dealing with the pandemic and being together and wearing masks or not wearing masks, I was very, very, very pleased with this response. And just talking to the artists too has been wonderful.
Right. Such a great experience. Thank you, Era, very
You're
much.
welcome.
Era
Thank you.
Lassie.
Hi, I'm Chris Steinmiller. This is a 12 by 24 oil painting of Gordon Fall in New Hampshire, thanks to a photograph my sister took while she was on a trip. This is my second entry, at the Janesville Wrap, and I'm delighted to be here.
Sue Cullen.
Hi, dear friend Nancy.
Yes, it's so nice that we are able to talk to you about your awesome cow, who is a he or a she, first of all.
I really think it's a she with that pink nose and pink eyes.
Okay, okay. What did you name this piece?
She's a crazy cow.
She's a crazy cow. Tell us about it. And
Well, it's a funny story. I got this gift box from a friend, and it had these black and white circles on it, and I thought, I'm gonna make those circles into a cow someday. So a year later, I finally did. There she is. These are cardboard circles.
so is it acrylic paint?
Yes, it's acrylic paint.
They almost look like CDs that are on there, but that's part of the cardboard, right?
We do.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then this part I did with ink, just some drops of alcohol.
So it would be
in
mixed media.
Yes.
And then what is the pink color made from? Is that
That's acrylic.
acrylic paints? Okay.
Neon
And it
pink.
looks like there's some resin up there?
Yes, there's resin on the circles
Okay, okay.
to make them really shiny.
Well, we will see you on April 23rd at the Janesville Wrap Show. Thanks
Yes.
for talking to us.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Sue.
Hi, this is Laura Strelo, and this is Lavender Dream. It's handmade paper and multimedia.
Laura, are you going to be at the workshop on April 23rd?
I will be.
That's wonderful. I think everybody will enjoy seeing it. Is this your first wrap show in Janesville?
No, this is my second or third,
Nice.
so I've really enjoyed
Well,
coming
that's
down
wonderful.
for these shows.
Thank you for letting us talk to you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Katarina Marchant. You can call me Katie. And I'm an artist here in Janesville. And this is my piece called Stairs. As a firefighter, we practice climbing stairs with a lot of equipment. And to just kind of digest what I do in my job, I draw it. And so this piece was something that I created while I was practicing carrying all the equipment over and over and over again. This is done in pencil, and there you go.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you at your first wrap in April.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we're doing behind the scenes. Everybody then will have a chance to see what we do to have this event. And one of them is to interview artists that are participating and to ask them questions about what drives them for art, because all the artists I know have to do it. You know, it's not something that they really choose. I mean, they may, but they really need to do it. And so they've talked about that. They've also talked about the kind of art that they make or create. Any of those interesting that you might want to respond to?
It's hard to think about why I do what I do, you know.
Why do you participate in rap?
I do it so I can get my art out. I'm looking for people to critique my work and to, you know, get other views and viewpoints. And what I do like about rap is also that I get to see what other people do. And then if I have questions, I can do that. And what I really like about the workshops is they excite me to work on art because you know, and the social aspect, be with people of like minds. And I don't know, just to enjoy the medium, because I don't know many people that enjoy the medium. You know, art.
That's true.
You know, the
Yes.
creativity aspect.
You're right.
You know, there's not a lot of people that really appreciate what art is, and you know, I mean, any design or anything like that revolves around art. I mean, a lot of people think architecture, well, it's not art. You know, this engineering isn't art, but it's all art forms because it's all creativity, and we need creativity and storytellers, and a lot of storytelling is also done in art. I can probably go on and start.
Well, I think what you did is beautiful. I think you
But I
captured it.
really
You
enjoy the
captured it.
raps for, I mean, I really enjoy them for the critiques and the social feedback, and they excite me, you know.
It is an
They want to
exciting
make
thing.
me work, otherwise I don't got any, you know, you lose your Swan or whatever, you know.
Oh, yeah, I do know.
Hi, Jan. Hi, tell us a little bit about this piece that you're entering into our wrap show.
Oh, this is an acrylic collage piece that started out with a lot of shapes, and then they were too distracting, so I started to blend the paints and decided to keep one shape as my focal point, and ended up with something like this, which reminded me of energy coming from Sedona.
Oh, interesting, like the vortex type
Yes,
energy.
yeah.
So
and
is this acrylic?
Acrylic, yes. And collage.
And collage.
Mhm.
So what do you put in your collage recipe, or is that a secret?
In the recipe, you that's a secret, of course.
Okay. Is it paper?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. And it's paper that I have painted and saved.
Oh, I see.
And use it for a lot of my collage work.
And what was the name of your piece?
What is the name?
Right.
Circle of Change. No, Wheel of Change.
Wheel of Change.
Wheel
Very,
of Change.
very nice.
Yes.
Well, we'll see you on April 23, and thanks for
Good. Hope
letting us
everybody
talk to you.
comes.
You bet.
Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Jennifer. She is part of the Janesville Wrap committee for hanging the exhibit for April 23. So Jennifer, tell us what you've been doing today.
Well, I've been helping out by putting up the pieces as they come in, and just trying to really keep them nice and balanced on the wall, and keeping their pieces together so that when the show is judged, the judges will be seeing all of their work at once.
The colors on these walls are incredible.
They really are.
Just the way the composition of the hanging of the exhibit is interesting as some of the art, isn't it?
It is, and
it takes a lot of people to put these shows together.
It's true.
And it's absolutely incredible that we have the variety, I guess I want to say, we're going to edit this out, I can tell you right now. Anyway, thank you so much, Jennifer, for doing what
My
you're doing.
pleasure.
And we'll see you on April 23rd.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you so
thank
much.
you.
It was nice
Okay,
meeting you.
You too. Good morning, Janet. How are things going today? Good. Looks like you're going to be very active for the next hour.
Sorry?
You'll be very active for the next hour.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sue.
Hi,
Good
Nancy.
morning. This is going to be a great activity, I understand. Do you want to tell us a little about what we're doing at the Wrap Show today?
Yes, it is. Today is our activity day for the Wrap Show, and our judge, Georgine, is going to be drawing a picture of Frida. And all of our guests today are going to be painting it in, and we're going to do a mixed media, so they can add butterflies to the painting, or they can add these for earrings. It should be a lot of fun today. Can't wait to see the finished product.
So it's going to be started by Georgine, and what will she start with?
She's
Is it
just
a
gonna
portrait?
Yes, she's going to use black paint and just draw the outline.
Okay.
And then we're all going to fill it in.
Oh, how fun. And then what happens?
Well, then at the end of the day, when it's done, we're going to auction it off to the highest bidder.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
So good luck.
So I will see you at the end of the day, and we'll see what results are.
Yes. it'll be
Thanks,
awesome.
Sue, so much. Sue Coleman. Hi, Pam.
Hi there, how are you?
Good. What are you doing?
I am painting Frida.
Oh,
as part of our
excellent.
group effort here.
Excellent.
And so our Georgine started the picture, and we're all supposed to come over and do a little bit of painting, and it's just fun. And then they auction it off at the end of the day, don't you?
Oh, yes.
I think so.
That's what happens.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so can we watch you put a few strokes on?
Certainly. I like orange, I like red, as you well know, and green.
And this is acrylic paint, Pam?
Yes, it is. And then I'm going to do a little bit of white to try to highlight a little bit here. That didn't do as dark as I wanted to, but that's okay. It's gonna be a
This
lot
is
of
really a
people
fun
over there.
activity for everybody at our Wrap Show.
Oh, we have so much fun. This is an event that I look forward to every single year. I'm trying to think how many years ago I started doing this. It's been a while, and it's always fun. Okay, I'm done.
All right.
Next
thanks,
person.
Thanks, Pam Beitenheimer. How did you like the workshop today?
What's that?
How did you like the workshop today?
Very nice, very well done, and I could actually hear her,
Oh, great.
so
great.
that made a big difference.
Great. And what's your
I
addition?
love the subject.
Are you doing flowers, or is this part of her
For what now?
her clothing? What are you painting on?
I'm still doing some fish. Oh, right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Well, it's got a great blending of reds and oranges right now, isn't it? Thanks, Tom. We'll come back and see you later.
Yeah, cool. Good idea.
Tell us what you're doing, Jan.
Oh, actually, I'm filling in some of her personality.
Oh, wonderful.
And that personality states that she's a free woman
Oh, there you go. I like that too.
with a lot of perseverance.
Perseverance.
Yes.
Word of the day. Hi, Carol. I like what you're doing with her hair. She needs to have a few rolls up there to hold all those flowers that are coming.
Yep.
Oh, that looks great.
Her background.
Yep. Good evening, Frida. It is a pleasure to meet you today. I understand that your presence here has been very welcomed. We are at the Janesville Wrap exhibit, and today is the reception. Tomorrow we will be doing a workshop. Do you have anything to tell us about how stressed your life was and what advice you would give current artists in today's world?
Well, Nancy, I think the most important thing is perseverance. At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can.
I think that is great advice. I will certainly pass that on to the group. Do you have any thoughts on how a woman in the 21st century could possibly persevere like you did back in the 50s and 40s and 30s?